Dang it. I made a spell error. What's this? I can't edit this thing. I made some type of spelling error. Hey, Ice Cream, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Can you guys hear me? Got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. So much to talk about. Is my volume good, guys? Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure I get these things right first before we get to babbling. For those who don't know, Shuhei Yoshida is a guy that has worked with PlayStation for over 30 something years. I guess he was the guy that was in charge of the first, very sleepy, but yeah, I can hear you. Cool. From what they're saying is he was the guy that was in charge of first party games over there at PlayStation. And then he was able to get demoted to basically his his end over there at PlayStation. He got demoted to the guy that was pushing for indie games, whatever that is. But there's a couple of statements. I did not see the interview per se. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing off of social media, and from what I'm seeing from social media, things just aren't adding up. Things just don't make sense to me. I'm extremely confused. He's saying, and a lot of the Sony fanboys are also saying that there just wasn't a market for the AA games over there at PlayStation. He's saying that the reason that we had to get rid of Japan studios is because there just wasn't a market there. The AA market has dwindled, and the only thing people cared about was indies and AAA games, the AAA experience. Yo, Jazzy, what's up, man? Jazzy J. Yet they kept Team Asobi, which was a subsidiary to Japan Studios. A lot of this just doesn't make sense. A lot of the information that we're receiving doesn't make sense, and he acts like we weren't there. You know what I'm saying? He acts like that we weren't there. We weren't there to see what is going on, to know that, hey, you're lying. This man's a goddamn liar. I'm not even saying allegedly. Like, this is just 1000% lies that he's saying. And Team Asobi, or we just saw a Team Asobi get an award for Astrobot. And the guy that came out and received the award just so happened to be Caucasian. So I'm not even sure if that whole subsidiary of Japan Studios is even factual. They're using that to promote Team Asobi, but that's full of bullcrap. That's complete bullcrap. Hey, what's up? The argue not Complete bullcrap, in my opinion. I was there. I was there. And I'm going to prove that it's all complete bullcrap. We were there. I remember a interview with Yoshida, and I think it was the launch of the PlayStation 4. And they were talking about to an audience full of fans, real fans. And I remember, when it came to the fans were asking questions of Yoshida what games they would like to see on the PlayStation 4. And when Yoshida was answering these people's fans questions, they were like, yo, man, can we get a Killzone remaster for the PlayStation 4? Well, I don't know, maybe. We talked about this years ago. He was so open-minded to the idea of a Killzones remaster. He was so open to the idea of a God of War remaster. He was so open to the idea of a Resistance Fall of Man remaster. But I remember somebody in the audience, he was one of the cool nerds, he had to be. He came out and said, "Hey Yoshida, what about bringing back JRPGs? What about?" And he didn't bite his tongue. He didn't beat around the bush like he did with the Killzone remaster, like he did with the God of War remaster. The Resents, he didn't bite his tongue. He came out and he flat out said, "No." Next question. Since day one, I believe, from what it looks like. Yo, Wisdom, what's up? They didn't want Japanese games. They didn't want Japanese games back then. Where can I start? Where I don't want to make it a racial thing. You know what I mean? But it's going to come off a little racial here because it just seems so racial. Where it's like you want your people to eat. You want your people to eat. That's what it looks like over there at PlayStation, at Sony PlayStation. Even though it was Japan that built this whole thing, it seems like you just want your people to eat, and you don't want the Japanese to eat. It seems like you don't want to put food on the tables of Japanese families, in my opinion, over there at PlayStation, because you've gotten rid of everything Japanese over there. Everything Japanese is going, and don't give me that they just put this guy at CEO and they put that guy at this CEO. Herman Holst is still running this whole thing. Jim Ryan, Yoshida said that Jim Ryan was the one that bumped him down of to be working with indie games, or leave. Those were the two options that they gave Yoshida. To say that there wasn't a market for AA games is a complete fabrication and a lie. You know what there isn't a market for? Horizon. Oh, but they can eat. There is absolutely no market for Horizon whatsoever. Whatsoever. And yet, every time you look, there's Horizon collector's cups. There's Horizon action figures. There's a Lego Horizon game. There's 2 or 3 Horizon games that we never asked for. And yet they continue to get pushing out Horizon after Horizon. There's Horizon cup snugglers. Do you guys know what a cup snuggler is? It's like you got a cup, right? And then there's some type of synthetic cloth that wraps around the cup. Y'all think I'm lying. Yeah, and it's got the Horizon character on it, and it's snuggling up your cup. They got some of the most wasteful garbage over there at PlayStation. This is a complete fabrication and a lie by Yoshida. There to say that we don't, or the PlayStation fans, or the market doesn't want AA games. And I'm not even going to use Nintendo because everybody's using Nintendo to try to prove their point. Well, Nintendo's got AA games, and Nintendo's a beast. Nintendo's a monster. Nintendo is a, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we've been doing the math here on this channel. All of us, all of us, all of us. Me, Wisdom, Jazzy J, all of us. We were just in this. We've been doing the math, and the math ain't mathing up. And yes, I guess Horizon did 10 million, but we did the math on that, and that's not true. I guess God of War did 10 million. I guess. I don't know. I don't even know the sales. I know they didn't do anything past 10 million. Spider-Man. Okay, we'll give you 10 million. We'll give you that. We'll give it to you. But the level of detail that went into, or care that went into those Western developed games, that was not the same when it pertains to the Japanese games. And I want to say, going all the way back to the PlayStation 2, that level of care just was not there, because we're still to this day discovering games on the PlayStation 2, discovering games on the PlayStation 1. In comparison to these games that did the 10 million, there was so much more marketing going for those games than there ever was for any of Japan Studios games. Japan Studios games would literally just launch and you had no eye freaking deal that they came out. I remember when Demon Souls came out, man. I remember when Demon Souls came out. Nobody knew. It came out the same time as Uncharted 2. I think it was like the same day Uncharted 2 came out. But Sony was only putting the pressure and the advertisement on Uncharted 2. There was commercials. There was all types of commercials. They were taking the reviews and throwing the reviews. We sat here, we did the numbers. We did this already. Y'all saw that. And Demon Souls is 10 times better of a game of Dark Souls. Excuse me, of Uncharted 2. 10 times better. One of the greatest video games of all time. Now, this is what doesn't make sense. Shuhei Yoshida lies and says that there wasn't a market for AA games. Now, keep it on Demon Souls. Pay attention. Pay attention. Keep it on Demon Souls. Shuhei Yoshida said this: there was not a market for AA games. Let me tell you how they're lying. There wasn't a market because PlayStation never created a market for them. I guarantee you, if you, the reason that I know about the games that came out, the Japanese games that came out for the PlayStation 1, is because they did an outstanding, Japan and Sony did an outstanding job at promoting those games. I remember when the commercials were coming out and the Parameter Rappers, but they came out with those demo discs, those jam-packed demo discs. Did an excellent job of promoting those games, and you were able to get full access to those games. But pay attention. Let me look at this. Look at this right here. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how Yoshida's lying. Because in one sprint, he says this. Look, look, look. In one stint, she says, former PlayStation exec Shuhei Yoshida says one main reason Japan studios closed was because the market for AA games seems to have disappeared, leaving mainly AAA and indie games. Okay, he says that, right? But listen, you got to put the clues together. You got to put everything together. You have to pay close attention. From Software didn't want to work with Sony on what will become Dark Souls because it was so disappointed by the way it had treated Demon Souls, Shuhei Yoshida claims. Are you guys paying attention? Let me see if you guys caught that. Now Sony chasing the Chinese game market to lean on. Yeah, I saw that as well. They say he said the reason that Sony was putting their games on PC was for the Chinese market, and supposedly there's a big market out there. A lot of them supposedly bought that Sun Wukong game. Um, it did astronomical numbers, but for some reason it didn't blow up. They were trying to shut down trying to shut Demon Souls down. Now, From Software says they didn't want to do business with Sony ever again because of the way that they were treated. Is PC huge in China? I don't know. I have no idea. China is its own thing right now, and China is so secretive when it comes to everything, man. There's giant monolithic structures over there, buildings, bridges. I didn't even know what was going on. I think I did a video with you guys showing you what was going on in China. China does not allow any type of information to be leaked when it's coming to them over here to the States. They don't want to know. They don't want you knowing nothing. I don't blame them. But I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what's going on in China. I'm suspecting it's huge because that Sun Wukong game did very well. I feel like every game I see looks like a Souls game now. It pisses me off. So Shuhei Yoshida says that there isn't not a market for AA games. But then he comes around and says that From Software was just so disgusted by Sony the way that they were treating them. That's because Sony was creating that market. Please do not try to sit here and try to point fingers and blame Japan Studios when it was you, Sony, the whole time. It was you the whole time. You did not, I don't want to make it a racial thing, but you just cannot understand the fathom of feeding Japanese families. You were taking food out of the mouths of thousands of developers that were working on those exquisite games. You wanted to put the food in the mouths of the Killzone developers who just so happen to be Caucasian. Horizon, Naughty Dog. That's what it seems like to me. We've done the numbers, man. Even though it sold 10 million, if it did, we'll just say it did. It still does not equate to the amount of money that a AA game is going to make. Why? Because of all the money you spent to sell the Western game. The commercials, the action figures, the cup snugglers. That costs a lot of freaking money. And you were not able to sustain that amount of money and making it back by just doing 10 million. And Horizon did not make 10 million organically. Y'all gave the game away. Y'all were giving games away and counting it as a purchase. We did it here on this channel. We did the research here on this channel. This is the only channel that did the research. I literally went to when I downloaded the free Horizon game, don't ask me why. I went to my receipt and it said, "Thank you for purchasing the game." And then a few weeks afterwards, Horizon does 10 million right before the launch of Horizon Forbidden West 2. There was never a market because PlayStation never created a market for Japan studios. In the beginning, yes, on the PlayStation 1. But once them people came, once the powers that be, once they came over to PlayStation, man, there was no more promotion for Japanese games. When the PlayStation 3 came out, nobody knew those Japanese games came out. Nobody, not one. We didn't know that White Knight Chronicles came out. We didn't know that Demon Souls came out. We didn't know when I think we did know, but that was because we were looking for games to play on the Vita. But we did know something about Gravity Rush, a little something about Gravity Rush. But Gravity Rush 2, we didn't know that better. That much, like we didn't know when it dropped. There was no commercials. There were no collector's cups. There were no posters. There were no T-shirts. There were nothing. There were nothing. There was nothing. We were there. I don't know why this guy is talking to us like we weren't there. We were there. You can watch the Zobi 70. The Zobi 70 channel was nothing but the chronological order of showing you of each generation and era of PlayStation. You can see the frustration and the anger and the blood and the sweat and the tears that I put into this channel to show you the mishaps and the mistakes that PlayStation has made. Now people are coming online and they're saying, well, From Software said that about PlayStation, even though they went out and made Bloodborne. That's not true. Do you guys, I keep telling you guys this over and over. From Software really had nothing to do with the Bloodborne. I've been telling you guys this over and over and over again. Bloodborne is literally the best From Software game. From Software gets all the credit. But that was made by Japan Studios, for those who know. The Japan Studios director, who's really was the one that put all the blood, sweat, and tears in that game to make it the best From Software game. From Software gets all the goddamn credit. But that is literally the best game. Demon Souls 1, that was assisted by From Software, and Bloodborne, that was mainly done by Japan Studios. Yo, what's up, Matthew? Japan Studios went to From Software first. Did they? No, no, they didn't. They went to where'd my tissue go? They went to Koei. Is it Koei Tech? What's that studio? What's the studio that made the Neos? Neo? What's that studio that makes like Demons Dark Souls Light? They made the Neo games. A lot of them went over there. I saw an article where Shuhei Yoshida got them a job. The director that worked on Bloodborne, they got his team a job over there. Team Ninja. Yeah. Yeah, they're working over there at Team Ninja. I I'm not, excuse me, let me not say you're wrong. I don't know. I don't know. You could be right. But I know the guy that worked on Bloodborne is at Team Ninja now. I'm not sure. What does Team Ninja make? Are they making the are they currently working with Microsoft to create that Ninja Gaiden game? I don't know. I don't know. Dude, I remember when Nier Automata first came out and nobody knew about it. No prohibition. Nier Automata, Nier Automata, Nier Automata. Oh, no, wait, that's Square Enix. I'm talking, well, yes, you're right. When it came to Japanese games as a whole, Sony wasn't promoting none of that, man. But I'm talking about the double A exclusives. I can go down a whole list of games that nobody knew about because they just did not promote it. And a lot of the games became extremely popular over the years because they were just so good. And people stumbled across it. When Bloodborne first came out, man, there was nobody. It was the same thing with Demon Souls and Uncharted 2. I mean, like, I was literally the only one. Google Zobi 70 Bloodborne. I was the only one saying this is the game that you guys need to get behind over there at PlayStation. And I'm not trolling. You guys know that. I'm not trolling. I'm not doing none of that. I was out there. I did a podcast, the official PlayStation podcast. There was a panel of PlayStation fans, and it was me. And there were a game came out at that time that they were more hyped for than Bloodborne. Does anybody know what that game was? I thought they were crazy. But there was such a need of doing what Xbox does. There was such a need for that over there at PlayStation that it just became so goddamn toxic. And thus PlayStation is in the situation that they're in right now. You know what I mean? It was like, man, but come on, do your own thing. The Order 1886. Yeah. They were so hyped for the Order 1886. It was disgusting. I camped outside of GameStop for 24 hours for the launch of Bloodborne. Nobody knew it came out. Nobody knew Bloodborne came out. I was the only one saying, hey guys, chill, chill. Bloodborne is it. All of your games that are popular today were backed and co-signed by Zobi 70. First. And I received buckets and buttloads of hate when I was doing it. When I was doing it, buttloads of hate. Monster Hunter, the Soul series, the Persona series, JRPGs, double A games. Order 1886, yeah. Another game was Gungrave, Sony exclusive, not no promotion because of cult classic, because of the fans of the series. Yeah, Xbox has done more to market Japanese games than PlayStation. When the Xbox 360 was taking off, they wanted that Japanese market. This was a brand new company. Japan had no idea who these people were, man, and they did an outstanding job of trying to lure in the Japanese market. When the Xbox 360 dropped, man, they came out with some of the best JRPGs of the time, man. Blue Dragoon, Blue Dragon, I call it Blue Dragoon. Lost Odyssey. They did some deals with Square Enix, Infinite Undiscovery. Final Fantasy 13 wasn't supposed to come to 360. Xbox did everything they could to get that bad boy in the Xbox 360, man. I'm not sitting here using this as a moment to just big up Xbox. No, I'm just saying like it's sad. It's sad that Shohei Yoshida can sit here and say that there isn't a market, even though we were here, we were right here, and they done nothing to promote it. They did nothing to promote the double A market. They have done nothing, going all the way back to the PS2, man. There are games that came out on the PS2 that you guys have no idea what they were. Not until now. Not until the internet and YouTube are all connected now and some type of Tower of Babel. We're all connected. All the races are connected. All the languages are connected. You know what I mean? And now we can get access to games like, you know, what's that game called? What's that series? Shadow Hearts? I think it's called Shadow Hearts. Yo, and not only that, the gaming media, when Xbox was putting out those Japanese games, except for bigging up the Japanese games that were on PlayStation, they bashed the Blue Dragoons. Go back and watch the Blue Dragoons reviews, Blue Dragon reviews. Go back and watch the Lost Odyssey reviews. Xbox was like, yo, go over there and get the creator of Final Fantasy and make us a JRPG, man. Xbox did a phenomenal job of trying to lure in the Japanese market. I get. I will always be forever grateful of the Xbox 360. I know it's not supposed to be loved or anything like that, but I can. I when you big up my Japanese brothers like that, man, I respect that. When you want to put food in the mouths and on the table, except for taking food out, get your hand out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Taking food out of the mouths and the I don't like that, man. And then blaming them when the game doesn't see. What kind of ass backwards crap is that? Sony knows this. Sony knows that in order to sell something, you have to promote it. You can't just release something and then it doesn't sell and you get mad. That's crazy. I'm still pissed off that there's no Infinite Undiscovery too. What was that other game? Infinite Undiscovery and there's another game that's currently on all platforms now. It's got such a unique combat system. It was like different squadrons. I never played it before, but I always watch it and stuff like that. Dang, I forgot. Got the name. Luckily, these developers are going to be able to see success in the future. I do believe in I don't believe in karma when it pertains to me, but I think I do believe in karma when it pertains to everybody else. The last Remnard. Yes, the last Remnard. Thank you, Shadow. When it comes to me, I can piss on somebody's skull and nothing will happen to me. But if somebody does people wrong, I do believe in karma, and there is some light at the end of this tunnel. And Shohei Yoshida is going to have to continue to eat his words. And we just saw another game that received so much that is receiving so much accolades today, but Sony didn't do anything to promote them, and that is the Suikoden series. And the Suikoden, the Suikoden spiritual successor, was able to see some pretty good success. And a lot of the Japan studio games that are currently working on games right now, and that is the Shadow Hearts creators that got no promotion from Sony, and they're making exclusives for them. And Wild Arms as well. Yeah, man. When it came to Japan studios, man, it was just like it was a lose-lose situation, man. We didn't know anything about The Last Guardian. We didn't know nothing about Ico. We didn't know anything about the reason we only knew about The Last Guardian, but we still didn't even know when it launched. The only reason we knew about The Last Guardian because at the time we were getting rumors that it was coming out. Okay, this is the year that it's coming out. This is the year it's coming out. They just kept running that same gag year after year and the year for like 10 years. So that was kind of the reason we knew about it. But we didn't know about Shadow of Colossus. We didn't know about the Icos. There's so many exclusives, man, that came over to PlayStation, and PlayStation just stick up their noses, man. But when it came to a Western developer, man, they pulled out the golden chair for these mother suckers, man. God of War, Killzone, Resistance, Horizon, Uncharted, The Last of Us, some of the worst games known to man. Horizon Forbidden West. I said this on the Discord. Is this the most unpopular franchise to get so much merchandise? They're talking about releasing a Horizon build a figure, or what are those little models? Those little models where you got to glue the things to build them. And stuff. I hate those type of things, man. Where you got to sit there and build and glue and stuff like that and cut out with scissors. What is that? I was like, why is Horizon getting so much goddamn press? This is one of the worst games known to man. Nobody likes this series. Nobody likes it. And yet, this just completely defeats what Yoshida is saying. It's like, if that's the case, why the hell do you keep promoting this garbage, man? They did more promotion for Little Big Planet. That game was. They did more promotion for Mod Nation Racers. When it came to Western developers, man, there's just unlimited amount of resources. Go. Here's the money. Feed your families. Here, take the money. They just came out with Concord. They came out with. They literally was going to create so many live service games and just completely axe them all. They went out and bought. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a brain fart when it comes to these games. What's that? Bungie? They went out and bought Bungie. And Bungie came out with some stupid game. What was that stupid game that nobody's playing? It's complete crap. It's supposed to be some type of. What was that? Enchanted Arts and Infinite Discovery were awesome JRPG. Yeah, oh man, you freaking Xbox did an amazing job back in the 360 era when it came to promoting they did a better job at promoting Japanese games than PlayStation has done from the PlayStation 2 era on up. I have a serious problem with Yoshida when it comes to his reasons on why they had to get rid of Japan studios and or getting rid of AA games. Your AAA games ain't working either. Your AAA games ain't working either. And the sad thing is you actually promote those games. Oh man, gaming would have been so much funner back on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 era if they actually promoted Japanese games. The Vita would have done well. They did. You notice they didn't promote any of the games for the Vita. They didn't promote Monster Hunter. There's a game right now that's taking off, and Xbox promoted that game, and it's a game I've been promoting for years. Tokyo Extreme Racer. Y'all see Tokyo Extreme Racer's taking off on the PC? Xbox had got Tokyo Extreme Racer, and but it was called import. But it was originally called Import Tuner Challenge, way before Tokyo Extreme Racer. Xbox did a phenomenal job, man. Went and got the Shenmue creators, Jet Set Radio, Sega. Just didn't work out, man. This generation is sad. It's it is sad, but I'm just it's not this generation. I'm telling you, man, I've been crying on this channel for over 15 years, man, about just the horrible work that PlayStation and Sony has been doing. So it's not this generation, man. This is a buildup. We didn't just get here. This is a thing that has been building and building and building. And I have been screaming. I've been like Chicken Little. I've been out there telling you guys the sky is falling. Y'all didn't hear me. Now the sky is falling. Now we're here. You know what I mean? Final Fantasy Rebirth flop 2, I think. Yeah. Final Fantasy Rebirth. Square Enix is going back and forth. But I always believe the negative news before I believe the positive. because the negative news comes first. And Square Enix came out and said that Final Fantasy Rebirth did not meet sales expectations. Now they're coming out and saying that it did, but I think that's because Sony might have came and knocked on them and said, "Hey, it's not looking good, man." But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got a lot of promotion though, especially the remake. I'm waiting for new horror fighting games. Portable has been the future. The original DS destroyed the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 way back in the 2004, especially in the Wii as well. Plus Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. I've always been a handheld guy. I've always played the hell out of a handheld, going all the way back to Pokemon and my green Game Boy Color. But I think the golden age for handheld games where when the PSP and the DS that was the DS was that was lit. Wait a minute, how could you say there's not a double A market, right? When at the same time, now I got to put Nintendo with it because I'm not even talking about the Nintendo Switch. Because everybody online is saying, how can he say that when the Nintendo Switch is doing this, and this, right? But like on the Nintendo DS, there were nothing but single A games, single A games that was moving that goddamn console, man. Don't get it twisted, man. The gaming media and Sony are lying right now. They're lying. They let me rewind. I wanted to do a video on this, but time just moves so fast. You get busy. But they were going over the Sony was talking about the sales numbers like a week ago, and they were saying that they sold 75 million units of the PlayStation, and there was the same amount of users, online users that are on the Nintendo Switch that are also on the PlayStation as well. Like they just started coming out with all this extremely positive news, right? And like they're lying. I'm telling you, they're lying. Somebody, we did a podcast on this. I don't. Let me see if I saved it in my bookmarks. I hope I did because somebody just showed that we did this on the podcast years ago, where Sony was storing consoles um, in a warehouse. Somebody just caught them storing more consoles in a warehouse. Dang, did I say that in the bookmarks or did I just post that at Discord? Ah, I should have did this video a week ago, but they were lying, man. They were lying. They were lying to protect themselves against the investors. The investors right now are extremely. For those of you who don't know, they're really mad at PlayStation right now. Um, PlayStation and Jim Ryan were trying to convince the investors that live service games were the way to go. Um, with Jim Ryan stepping down and Concord being a complete flop, and the canceling of so many live service games, so many millions upon millions of dollars have thrown down the drain. They had to come out with some type of positive news, but it was all bogus. It was completely bogus. Dang it, I don't. It's in the Discord, I think. Yeah. Damn. I should have put that in my bookmarks. Y'all should have seen that, man. Linux PC and Steam Deck are changing the game. What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Changing what game? What are you talking about? What? I'm getting pissed off, man. What the hell is this guy talking about? I don't even know what the hell a Linux PC is. What is that? And Steam Deck? Isn't that just a copy of the Nintendo Switch? Changing what game? See, come on, guys, please, please. PlayStation is doing really, really bad right now. None of their plans are working. There's a complete disarray over there. Um, and the reason that they're putting out these numbers and showing a management shiftment and things of that such is because they're trying to not worry the investors right now. Um, it's really bad. Astrobot came out. They did so much promotion for that. They came out with collectors cups and action figures and commercials, and they're literally creating fake award shows to just keep throwing these awards at Astrobot. And Astrobot is just it's barely cracking 1 million, barely. And the investors right now are extremely, extremely, extremely pissed off. They're stressed. Um, I just saw an article the other day where PlayStation says now they're going to be focusing on AA games again. Now they're going to focus on more fun games, children's games, and things of that such. It's sad, man. It's sad. But they would have been all right. They would have been all right if they never got rid of Japan Studios, man. Japan Studios would have been perfect right now because as you wait for these AAA bangers like Grand Theft Auto, pay attention to the games I'm going to name: Grand Theft Auto, the Call of Duties, the multi-plats, not the Sony exclusives. The Japanese games, they would have been able to fill in that spot while people had waited. And that's what we did. That's what happened with the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4, oh, they were saying that, oh, there's another thing about the sales. This is show you how really bad PlayStation is doing. They're like, yo, we're at the same mark that PlayStation 4 was at, right? PlayStation 4 at this time sold 76 million. The PlayStation 5 is selling 75 million, allegedly selling 75 million. And they think that's success. Only in the PlayStation world that could be considered success. But yes, with the release of Japanese games right now, and that's what happened on the PlayStation 4. When you guys were waiting for the Grand Theft Autos, I think Grand Theft Auto was already out, but still, when you guys were waiting for, we'll just say the God of Wars, the Uncharted's, when you were waiting for the Horizons and things of that such, Spider Man. During that time when the PlayStation 4 came out, man, there was Japanese games galore that was bringing in that variety of audience. The PlayStation 6, PlayStation 5 can be doing so much better now, but they've alienated about half of their audience. And that was the people that bought the PlayStation 5s to get access to Japanese games, exclusive Japanese games. Remember, brothers, when we got our PlayStation 4s, man, we were playing Tokyo, Zandu, we were playing Digimon, Story of Cyber Sleuth, we were playing Dragon Quest Builders. We were playing Dragon Quest Warriors. We were playing Bloodborne. We got the Final Fantasy VII remasters. We got the Final Fantasy X remasters. Remember? That's what really helped the PlayStation 4 start off really strong. But once they X'd out, placed those Japanese games, and then said, all right, now we're just going to focus on The Last of Us. Now we're just going to focus on Horizon. Now we're just going to focus on God of War. And then the Switch came out. Right now is the perfect time to have Japan Studios, man. You would have had that Bloodborne remaster. You would have had Bloodborne 2. You would have had some type of rapper game right now. You would have had Wild Arms, a new Wild Arms game. You would have had a Legend Legaia game. You know what I mean? World of Final Fantasy. Remember that? Hey, what's up, Zome? Portable has always been the future. Ratchet and Clank and Astrobot. Yeah. The PlayStation 4 was cool at first because the Japanese games were. Yeah, remember? Yeah, I couldn't. It was nothing I could really say. I was like, yo, these Japanese games. I was on the PlayStation every night playing the Bloodborns, Dragon Warrior, and then PlayStation goes back to being PlayStation. They don't see why they don't like the idea of Japanese developers getting money and eating. And then they started to go full force on LBGT games, and they wanted to put the money in the pockets of people who just so happen to be Caucasian. And thus they're in the cluster bubble that they're in right now because Western games are dead. They're dead. We are well. How many days we got left until the doomsday? I call it doomsday. The launch of the announcement to the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2. I just saw some news on Pokemon Day. Now, Pokemon rumors you got to take with an extremely grain of salt. Um, Pokemon rumors, they be having the craziest, most outlandish rumors when it comes to Pokemon. They got little designs for the new Pokemon characters that are coming out. Here's the new, you know what I mean? Fake Pokemon news is it, it's hitting. But I'm hearing that one rumor that's got me excited is, of course, Pokemon Legends of Arceus 2. But they're also talking about they're going to be making a Pokemon Classic collection. You're going to be getting a physical version to get full access to the classic Pokemon games. I'm kind of taking that with a grain of salt. But if it's true, it's on. It's on. You know who? Pokemon's not dead. Let's not get the game twisted. Not, it's dead. Because I got to make sure I got to word my wording right. Pokemon is dead because it's the same thing I'm going to say for the reason why I thought PlayStation was dead many, many, many years ago. Is because it's not Pokemon anymore, or it's not PlayStation anymore. This is the reason why I can say that it's dead. Now it's doing amazing numbers, and it will continue to do amazing numbers. Um, but you guys know the reason why Pokemon is in this problem that it's in right now, or just when Final Fantasy. Do you know why it's in the debacle that it's in right now? It is number one, they're stupid, and number two, they listen to the Western gaming media, man. The Western gaming media was the one that it has Pokemon in a disarray right now. I remember when Pokemon was coming out, and Pokemon has its formula that works. There's nothing wrong with whatever works. You don't need to fix it. And I remember the Western gaming media was complaining because the characters were still going right to left to up and down, and they couldn't go diagonal. That was a complaint for Pokemon back in the days. I can't stand the Western gaming media. I wish they would go away. I had a problem with them for a very long time, going all the way back to the '90s. They were just, oh my god! Go back and watch the reviews. Read the reviews of the games that came out that are just classics today. Sui Coden got so much slack because it was 2D and not 3D like Final Fantasy VII. The Western gaming media took away what I loved, and that was 2D graphics, man. 2D handheld, hand drawn graphics. Beautiful. Street Fighter, Mega Man, all of that was just a problem. Oh my God. And Japan would read that crap and they would listen. I would get so mad. That's why Final Fantasy is in the debacle that it's in right now. I can't believe I turned on the goddamn Final Fantasy Rebirth gameplay. I said, what the hell is this? What is this? This is a game that was made by the Western gaming media. That's the reason why the Western gaming media keeps giving them damn awards. And we as the gamer, we're like, what the hell? I knew it was lit when Hillary told me to Pokemon Go to the polls. Pokemon Go was big. Pokemon, it's not going anywhere, but as a gaming franchise, I think it's dying because it's listening to the developers, man. I'm telling you, man, it would be so lit if they can give us the option to have a 2D Pokemon game, man. And it's the classic Pokemon. I don't understand why developers, especially Japanese developers, feel like we got to leave all of that it worked, and we just got to leave it all in the past and never come back to it again. Like pre-rendered backgrounds were gorgeous for a lot of the classic PlayStation One games, gorgeous. And they said, you know what? We're just never going to do that again, and they just never did again. I'm telling you, man. Pokemon, that Diamond and Pearl would have been so much better if they did not a full 3D game. That was stupid. It should have been a 2D, 3D game like Octopath Travelers. Was Nintendo acquiring Microsoft and Sakaguchi leaving? Of course, of course. But I think more. I think it was more or less Monolith Soft. I think it was more or less Monolith Soft more than Sakaguchi. Sakaguchi does great work. He still continue to make great work. Don't get it twisted. Um, but it's just something about Monolith Soft that they just have that magic touch. Everything they touch just seems to just resonate with gamers. They have a more of a psychological connection with gamers, and not only that, they can adapt to the generation as well. The Xenoblade games are I do not like these Xenoblade games in the slightest. Now I don't hate them. I just not something I'll be sitting around and going, oh, I wanna pop in the new Xenoblade game. Oh man, I got an itch to play some Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I do want to play Xenoblade Chronicles X, but man, they know how to adapt to generations. They know that what you guys like, man, and they put a girl in there with some cat ears, and boom, it becomes a mega smash hit. You know what I mean? They know how to connect with the modern with each generation, and yet still keep their formula and style. You know, still giving you that metaphysical stuff that's going on within the game that you can't really understand what's going on, but for some reason it's connecting with the DNA somehow. Pre-rendered backgrounds are nice and they still work. That's why people still like classic Resident Evil. Man, it ought to be so dope, man, if these companies can still give us the option because it's not like it's going to be mega expensive. You know what I mean? Give us the option. When I was a gamer back in the day, we had options, man. When I was a gamer back in the day, man, it's just if you didn't want to play one basketball game, you would go and play another type of basketball game. Sony would have their own basketball. Xbox had their own basketball game. 989 Studios or this studio was making. You had the 2Ks, you had the NBA Lives. You didn't just have to rely on one basketball game giving you a basketball game. If you didn't like this Naruto game, all right, well, you can go over here and play the Naruto Xbox game, by Ubisoft. Or you can go and play the one made by CyberConnect 2. It would be so dope, man. If I was working at Japan at Pokemon Studios right now, man, I'd be like, yo, let's give the people the options to play that 2D, to play, because a lot of the older gamers, people like me who are older, we're still playing video games, to completely alienate a generation of people is just ridiculous to me because this is something that we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives. This is what we know. All we know is this. It's not like we like our parents are older, so they didn't have video games and stuff like that. But whatever resonated with them during that timeline still resonates with them toward this day. So to just go, oh, that's that old stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think that's ridiculous. It wouldn't be that expensive. You can combine the generations. You can do the 2D stuff, right? Give you some special 2D Pokemon. And then when you create a new game, you can just throw in a little bit of the 2D Pokemons within the 3D thing. And you go, oh, snap, that's what Jiggle Joggle, that's what Babachu looks like in 3D. Oh my God, Babachu, Babachu, Yeah. Pokemon is still the biggest franchise on Earth. I'm not denouncing that philosophy. I'm just talking about you know the death. There's signs of death everywhere. You might not be dead, but there's definitely some warning signs. Dragon Quest 11 in 2D is a good example. Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 You're so right. You're so right. I forgot. Yeah. That was cool. I was that kid who thought things were older than we were so cool. I was the kid who thought things that were older than me were so cool. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was yeah, in our generation. We thought the older stuff was cool, you know what I mean? Doing all the old stuff was cool. But now this generation thinks that the old stuff is corny, I guess. But yeah, I think the people who don't like turn based um, are people who never played turn based. You know what I mean? I think the people who don't like turn based JRPGs are people who just never played them. I don't think turn based. There's nothing old about turn based whatsoever. It's just a different strategy and perspective of playing things. You're except for just coming in and tapping in the square button. I guess on a lower level that can be fun. That was never fun to me. I was the first game I've ever played was chess with my father, and the JRPGs reminded me of chess, kind of commanding my units. But I think the people who don't like turn-based JRPGs just never played them. Every time I went on a podcast and I was around somebody that was talking about badly about RPGs, I can tell they never played it. There was always signs there. I remember I was on a podcast one time with Neil Gayspark and a few other guys, and the one of the guys on the podcast was talking about how the action is going to be so much better and things of that such. But then later on in the podcast, he didn't even know what the materia system was. They tell you the materia system within the first 20 minutes of the game. Or when I see like black guys talk about the outfits and stuff that these JRPG characters are wearing, you know what I'm saying? Or how dainty and stuff they might look. But for those of us who play JRPGs, we're not really we're not on that level of thinking. You know, we're not really eye gazing at other men like that. And we know where that style comes from. It comes from Michael Jackson. It comes from Prince. It comes from Rick James. It comes from the Parliament and the Funkadelics. It comes from the Rock and Rollers. You know what I mean? It comes from Little Richard. That dainty boy look came from them. Um, what's the great guitarist? Dang, I'm looking dead at him right now. What's his name? Oh my God, Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. Those looks are nothing more than just renditions of legendary rock and roll artists, black rock and roll artists. The dainty boy look came from them. It came from them. For those who know, we know. Go back and look at old Michael Jackson bad album covers. Go back and look at the Thriller. Go back and look at what Michael Jackson was wearing. Michael Jackson was the first to create Final Fantasy, man. Michael Jackson had Bubbles as a sidekick. That all you see these little tiny characters walking around in your Final Fantasies. That came from Michael Jackson and Bubbles. Wasn't nobody doing it like that until them brothers was doing it, man. But you never looked at Michael Jackson as a homosexual or Prince or anything like that. That's weird. That's eye gazing. That's some old you looking a little bit too hard. Hey, Cooley, what's up, brother? I think the people that hate turn-based players are Call of Duty first. Yeah, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. I'm telling you, they never picked it up. I saw a guy. He there was a Shin Megami Tensei game, Devil Survivor 2. It was trash. It was trash. You know what I mean? As a JRPG fan, we can say, we know what trash and what isn't trash. But like, I could tell people weren't playing JRPGs, especially the Xbox guys, because number one, they just you go if you watch like a Xbox podcast right now, they'll be like praising the Lost Odyssey, and we were like, you'd be confused, like what the Lost Odyssey? Excuse me, and but they just finally played it. You know what I'm saying? Like they finally played the game, and they were able to see how awesome it was. And it was like, damn, we really needed you to be piping this up years ago. But not only that, there was a game, I think it's called Devil Survivor. It was originally, I want to say, a second Saturn game. It was an old game. It was ported to the 3DS. I bought that game. A great game. And then they made a part two. And that game was trash. And I think it was on Game Pass. Or it wasn't on Game Pass. It just came to the Xbox. It was one of the first JRPGs of lately that has come to the Xbox. And the Xbox guys were like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I don't really like JRPGs, man, but I like this. And I was like, I could tell they never played JRPGs before because if you think this is hot, wait until you play a real JRPG. Wait until you play the JRPGs that you bashed when it was exclusive to the PlayStation or exclusive to Soul Hackers. Soul Hackers too. Yeah, thank you. They were like, oh my God, this game is amazing. And I was like, that's when you know they never played it before. That's when I know when somebody's never played a JRPG before. When they play something that's so freaking trash and they go, this is amazing. And I've never played a bad JRPG before. Not until recent years when they've completely just destroyed the JRPG genre with the Final Fantasy 13s and the Final Fantasy 16s and things of that such. The Final Fantasy 7 remakes and the rebirths. Those are not JRPGs. Those are made for the audience of people who don't play JRPGs. But for Shohei Yoshida to sit here and lie and say that and everybody's throwing this pity party for him, and for a second there, I almost felt for the pity party as well. But once he came out and said that there wasn't a market for the double A games, that's just not true. That's just not true. You'll be selling a lot more consoles right now if you sold those double A games. That was really one of the reasons why the PlayStation consoles was just so successful, and why the Nintendo Switch as well is so successful is because when you watch those Nintendo Directs, they're going for everybody, man. They're giving you some type of Batman Arkham Asylum remaster. They're giving you JRPGs. They're giving you a new Zelda. They're just grabbing at each audience. You know what I'm saying? The farming audience. There's always a farming. If you watch a direct, they'll do a farming announcement, a farming game announcement. They'll do a JRPG. They'll give you an Assassin's Creed or some garbage like that. You know what I'm saying? Wait until Doomsday. How many days we got until Doomsday? Wait until Doomsday when the Nintendo Switch 2 drops. Going after each and every single of those markets. And that's what the PlayStation 2 did, man. They were offering you a bevy of variations where you'll just see, like, there was even though you own the PlayStation 2, man, there was something that was going to appeal to you. There wasn't just one single audience that they were focusing on. It was just focus on that audience, and that's what's going to sell our console. It's not what it is. I never bought a PlayStation 5 and I never will. They still has not released a game that caters to me. And whatever game that I'm interested in, it's on the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, that's it. That's it. How much men can she take? Hi from the UK. Have you played any Dark Souls or Elden Rings? Of course. I played a little bit of Elden Ring and I turned it off because I'm a type of person that once I get it, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I get what this is now, and I'm done. There's games that I played and I enjoyed. But once they came out with a sequel of it and it was just the same thing, I was like, oh, this. I don't like this. This, you know what I mean? That's the reason why I like JRPGs, is that people think that when you play a JRPG, every single one of them is the same. That's not true. Every single JRPG is incredibly different, more different than any JRPG. Persona 5 is nothing like Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 7 is nothing like Wild Arms. Wild Arms is nothing like Legend of Legaia. Legend of Legaia is nothing like Legend of Dragoon. You know what I mean? Legend of Dragoon is nothing like Final Fantasy 10. Final Fantasy 10 is nothing like Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 9 is nothing like Dragon Quest 11. Yes, it might be a turn-based game, your turn, my turn, but I'm telling you, gameplay-wise, nothing like it. Nothing, there's nothing about it that's the same. I specifically like monster collecting turn-based JRPGs or just monster collecting games, period. Because with each monster game, they'll drop a bevy of new Pokemon for you to play, a bevy of new demons for you to collect, and I'm just going in there and I'm just collecting and I'm collecting and I'm collecting, building the perfect team, building the birthday party, and then all of a sudden they take the worlds and they mix the worlds together and they start mixing the old Pokemon with the new Pokemon, and you just be like, oh yeah, collect, collect. And you're just building the ultimate team of demons. That's my favorite genre, is the monster collecting turn-based JRPG. I don't have a problem with action RPGs. Some people might think that I do because I'm so hard on them, but there are some great action RPGs that are out there. The classic Tales of games, Vesperia, Abyss, Symphonia, Tales of Grace's Zep. I'm playing that currently right now on the PlayStation 3 on my CRT television. It's beautiful. Great game. But it doesn't go overboard. You know what I mean? It doesn't. You'd be like, oh my God, you're watching these combo videos for Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth and 7. And you're just like, oh God, stop, stop, stop. And they just keep going and then juggling the guy and then beating him up and then juggling him back up in the air and kicking it in and twirling. And I go, oh, stop, please, please. And there's this new system that Square Enix keeps doing, this the break system. You gotta beat them down and then you break them, and then now you can just add extra hits to the combo. And then it's like, ugh. But yeah, Dark Souls, Onion Man, I guaranteed $1 billion I was playing the Soul series before you did. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but a lot of I just remember that time. I remember that time when these Souls games and when these games were coming out, nobody cared for them, man. Nobody wanted them. But it wasn't their fault. It's just PlayStation never did anything to promote them. They had to go somewhere else to get that promotion, and they went to Namco Bandai. PlayStation had them. PlayStation had them. But they went to Namco Bandai, and Namco Bandai did an amazing job at promoting their games. The ATB system. I hate that brake system. It's so stupid. They added it to the to the turn-based game, Octopath Travelers. Ugh. What else happened? I think that's it. I wish I did that video where they showed that there was a warehouse full of PlayStation 5s. And we did videos back on the Extendo podcast, and y'all thought I was trolling and joking. And I showed you that they had a warehouse where they were storing PlayStations and counting them as sales. I'm getting a little worried with Trump. Trump hasn't showed me any deportation numbers in a while. That concerns me. The first couple days they were out the gate. Yeah, we deported this guy. We deported these criminals. We deported that criminal and these criminals. But then it slowed down. I haven't seen any numbers lately. That concerns me. That concerns me. To let me know if Trump is really serious about illegals. I had this conversation with my mom. To let me know that if he was really serious about Americans and getting rid of illegals, this is what would convince me. Is if that he put sanctions or some type of penalties on companies for hiring illegals. If you hired illegals, you receive some type of fine, a fee, and that would really, really, really slow it down. I'm not talking about Hispanics or anything like that. I'm just talking about illegals. Period. I don't even care if you hire illegals to do some work around the house, to cut your lawn. You need to get fined. You can have illegals out there. You're drinking your lemonade and you're watching the illegals cut the grass. And they're cutting the grass, and then the cops can pull up on you and start asking for green cards, registrations, all types of stuff. They don't got it. Find that mother sucker, man. Find them. I'm worried what's going to happen with whoever is next after Trump. I'm focused right now. I'm focused right now. I'm going, okay, Trump, I saw what you did with the illegals in your first couple of days, but I haven't seen any numbers lately. You got me distracted with these planes falling out of the sky. I get that. Well, what's going on, man? What's going on? ICE. I was thinking about applying for a job at ICE, but it looks like it ain't going. Yo, Pizza Cat, what's up, man? What happened to the Kamala supporter? There was a Kamala supporter in the comment section back when Kamala was running. What was his name? Afro? Where's Afro at? He always be up in these comment sections. He has not been back since Kamala won. Was he working for the Democratic Party or something? He rolls over. You don't know what you're talking about. Trump is this and the Central Park Five, the Trump, Kamala's the best choice for the. Where Afro at? Where my boy Afro, man? We can come back, brother. You don't want to. I saw him on one of my polls. But he hasn't pulled up to the live streams, man. He usually be always up in here. He's scared, shook. He's shook. How'd you guys like the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime special? I know I'm on some old stuff right now. I just want to talk to you guys about a few things that was on my mind. I liked the Kendrick Lamar halftime special, man. I was jamming. I was up and dancing. I was doing the crip walk. I was getting down, man. I despise Drake, man. And I don't really have anything personal against the guy. Just thought the guy was super corny. I was like, what the freak? And there was a point where I was starting to like Drake too, and Kendrick Lamar broke down in the Not Like Us song the reason why he got me, and that was because of he said you tried to get the street cred, something in the aspects of getting your street credentials by working with what's the guy's name? 21 Savage? I think that's his name. 21. I think that's his name. Him and 21 Savage did a mixtape recently, a couple years back, two or so years back, or an album or something like that. And I was starting to like that Drake. And Kendrick broke it down like, no, 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 he just tricked you by doing the street stuff. And I'm not a street guy. I've never been a street guy. I've been in the streets and things of that such, but I've always been, a cool nerd, more nerd than cool. But I was able to maneuver within the streets, by still being myself. You know what I mean? I never had to change up anything of who I was. People just that's Zoe, that's Zoe doing this thing. Um, but when it came to my rap and my hip hop, man, I liked it the most rawest, the most gangsterous lyrics, man. I didn't care how fake it was. I didn't like I didn't like the whole maybe I did. Maybe I did. I liked it all that stuff, man. And I just thought when it came to Drake, I just thought he was mad corny. I was like, this guy is freaking corny. He's a weird looking guy. He was always weird to me, you know? So when whatchamacallit said he was a he was trying to strike a chord, but it's probably a minor, I was just like, oh, that's what it is. He does seem like a type of person that'll be into some weird stuff like that. You know what I mean? I never would give Drake his props. I remember we were having debates, and one guy was saying that Drake would steal your girl. He was like coming after you guys in the comment section talking about how Drake, y'all hating on Drake, but he'll take your girl. And I was just like, no, no, Drake would not take it. No, the dude's corny. He would not take nobody's girl. He might can take a weirdo chick. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of weirdo chicks out there that you not really a girl. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Yeah, she'll fall into the trap of the illusion of success and fame. But come on, no, stop. Like Drake ain't taking nobody's girl. If he wasn't famous, these are the type of guys, if they weren't famous, they'd be in the basement somewhere, Drake, on the internet complaining about how women um talking that a pill, that red pill garbage. Zobi is actually called the superb owl. It's Illuminati doublespeak. What's that? Let's get a welfare check on him. Where's Afro at, yo? He was in here telling me, oh, Zobi, you don't know what you're talking about. The Central Park Five. It's actually called the Superb Owl. Oh, the Super Bowl? I thought it was a great show. At first, I couldn't hear my boy Kendrick. He was coming out and he didn't. He was just moving from left to right, moving from left to right. But I was having a good time. The only thing I didn't like um, was I think Kendrick might he does a little bit too much to pander. He does a little bit too much to pander, and I get it, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I don't get it. You know, but Drake's got a line in one of his beep raps that he was like, what do you say, Kendrick? Kendrick was on some pro black stuff, but he's got a mixed queen. Uh, that was that was whoever wrote that was funny. Yeah, he did a little bit too much to pander to black women. You know what I mean? I get it, and I don't got no beef with black women and stuff like that. But I do have a beef when here's my beef. I go to a black. Well, I saw a couple of things with black women for me to have this beef with this situation. When I was watching a show, it was Troy Terrain, star Buck Wild. He was having a topic about Kendrick Lamar's line where he said um, something about don't ever let no white comedian talk about a black woman, that's law. And then Andrew Schultz responded by saying, yeah, yeah, I'm disrespecting black women, but the rappers, they in every other word, they're saying the B word and they're disrespecting black women. But me as a white guy, I'm disrespecting. And I saw a black woman called up and was like, Andrew Schultz is right. Andrew Schultz is right. Like Kendrick was literally defending a black woman. But all it took was the Caucasian guy to say that, and all of a sudden she quickly turned on Kendrick Lamar and to say how right Andrew Schultz was. That's strike number one. Strike number two, I'm watching the Super Bowl special, and it's black. It's black. Don't get it twisted. It's black. It was black man. It was very black man. It wasn't DEI. This is a guy that is talented. Wasn't nobody doing Kendrick no favors. Kendrick was doing the Super Bowl a favor. Samuel L. Jackson was out there. It was very, very black man. But when I talked to black women about the Kendrick Lamar special for the Super Bowl, they said it was trash. Black women was like, man, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It was very pro black man. Strike number two. Every black woman that I talked to, it was trash. It was garbage. I didn't like it. But you know what parts they did like? When SZA came out, strike number two. When SZA came out, and when Serena Williams was crip walking with bleached skin and a blonde wig, that was the only parts they liked. Oh, but I go when SZA came out, girl. Oh, we were like, ah. And when we saw Serena sea walking, strike number two. Strike number three. Serena Williams. What was Serena Williams doing out there? She finally found time to come slum with us, right? Kendrick was doing a little bit too much to pander. He does a little bit too much to pander to black women. Black women ain't rocking with you, Kendrick. You're a black man with a mixed queen, and you're 5'3". Serena Williams, she came out and she found time to slum with us, to party with us, and then went back to to the to the grafted man. They talk about black men. They talk about us like dogs. Like we could be literally sitting right there and they'll just talk about us just like if you was talking about the damn dog. That goddamn dog is so goddamn stupid. Dog be sitting right there. That's how they talk about us. And you know, they'll get on black men and they'll say, well, you black men, you when you mess with the white woman, she's fat. She's fat. That's all you can get is a fat white woman. You know what I mean? Y'all just so dusty and broke. All you can get is a fat white woman. Which is completely bogus. I've dated everything. I still get offers, even though I'm in a relationship. I still get offers from everything. Everything. But they say that black men have a taste for anything, especially big girls or big white girls or big girls who aren't black, you know? And that might be the case when it pertains to broke black men, quote unquote broke black men. But I know when a black man gets money, you've never seen a black man with money with a fat girl. Never seen it. I've never seen Michael Jordan. I've never seen Kobe Bryant. I've never seen Michael Jackson. I've never seen Prince, Ice T, Ice Cube, Tupac. I ain't never seen him with no big girl, man. But why is it when a black woman gets some money, they get with a white guy, and it's like, whoa, did you guys see Serena Williams's husband? Are you guys still there? The stream might have went down. I might be talking to myself right now, and that's okay. I just want to get this off my chest. I didn't like the way the black women were reacting to Cringeworth special, especially the women at my job. Did y'all see Serena's husband? You would never, ever see a black man in that type of situation that Serena Williams is with her husband. Black women say that they gotta, when they get with a guy, it's gotta be an upgrade. So the Caucasian is supposedly an upgrade. Serena's making more money than him. So that's a lie. So where's the upgrade at? Where's the upgrade? Y'all, shut up, man. None of y'all wanted Serena Williams. Drake never wanted her. That's why she was out there crip walking. He never wanted her. That's why she had to go to the white man. That's just bogus. Completely bogus. That man is gross. Have you guys seen him? Let me see if I can find a picture. Holy smokes, that dude is gross. No disrespect to my Caucasian brothers. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to get some money, why not do what the black man does and upgrade? I didn't like that. I didn't like that Kendrick brung her out on stage where she goes home and lays down. She didn't do it for the culture. Where's that picture that they showed of him and her on the beach? Holy smokes. Even white guys are going, ew. Dun, 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 dun. They not like us. Dang. He don't got even detail, no nothing. I can't even get a good picture. But holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. The black man would never. The black man would never. He looks like it beaks. That's why I have this philosophy, man. If I'm dating a chick who is of color, if I'm dating a chick, see the white woman wouldn't do nothing like that. The white woman of means ain't doing nothing like that. But if I'm dating a woman of color, black, Hispanic, Asian, especially Asian, and I asked them specific questions, I'd be like, hey, so you've ever dated like other races of guys? Yeah, I did, yes. Well, like, like Hispanic. I don't go straight to the white guy. I kind of want to make it too obvious. What about like Hispanic? Yeah. I dated a Hispanic guy. I dated a white guy. I won't date a woman of color if she dates a Caucasian guy. I apologize if that comes off racist, but it's not that. It has to do something with Caucasian guys specifically. I'm not jealous of that. I'm more careful because a woman of color will sleep with anything Caucasian. It'll be the lowest of the lows. You know what I mean? The dirtiest of dirtiest. I watch all type of documentaries, man. I've been doing a lot of researches with over there in Africa that the AIDS and stuff like that come from these nasty, decrepit British Caucasian guys coming out there. They look sick while they get there, and they're treating him like a god, man. They're sucking on his toes. They're carrying his luggage. They're sucking juice out of his urethra. They're doing all types of nasty stuff. And with you, they get funky with you. You ask for anything. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, can you go in there and make me a sandwich? And then they'll get disrespectful. They'll call you the N word right in front of you. N word, who do you think you are? You ain't my daddy. The Caucasian, you don't even have to ask. I'm talking about, like how Phil Spencer looks right now. That's considered gold. Now I can understand if they would show me if I'd be like, oh, let me see this Caucasian guy, and it was Brad Pitt or something like that. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, that's what's up, that's my dude. You know what I'm saying? But no, it'd be the lowest of the lows. It'd be the lowest of the lows. Dudes that don't wash for days, smelling like straight ass, and they'd be looking at him and smiling. And I'm pretty sure my Caucasian brothers do the exact same thing, man. When they dealing with a Caucasian woman, they get the interrogating her. After a Caucasian woman gets done messing with your black ass, she'll make it seem like you never existed. She'll erase you completely. She'll erase you off the Facebook. She'll erase you off the pictures. She'll get rid of you. Bow. And that Caucasian man gets to asking the questions. He gets, you ever messed with a black guy before? No, no. Mm-mm. It'd be a goddamn lie. Ask, fellas, ask. You might think it's racist, man. No, you're just being safe. You're being very, very careful and safe, man. Because they will sleep with anything Caucasian, anything, anything. I'm talking about if they are a girl of color. Caucasian women, you don't have to be too, because Caucasian women, when they're young, they go specifically for black guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like they're going for thugs. You know what I'm saying? Usually with the Hispanics, they'll go for the thugs in their culture, and the black women will go for the thugs in their culture and stuff like that. But the Caucasian woman doesn't know what a thug is from anything black is a thug. He could be Stephen Urkel, you know what I mean? He could be Theo Huxtable, and that's a thug, you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry too much. But those Caucasian guys, man, you see them slumming around in the Hispanic community. You see them slumming around in the black community. You see them going to little Asian, little dirt, piss poor Asian countries. You see them on the internet cursing out white women and stuff like that, man. Those are the ones to look out for, man. Anything. If they have color to them, they're trying to whiten up the race. That's why. Something about that whiteness just gets them excited. So they think just sleeping with anything, getting light skinned babies is everything. He think the Caucasian guy could be a bum. He could be all that, man. The black man could be a bum. Nope. The black man cannot be a bum. And nope. He's a nerd. He's too corny. Y'all better listen to me, man. Y'all better listen to me. Especially in 2025 and beyond, man. They got new shit out here, man. You don't even know. You don't even know. They got shit out here now, man. Dogs won't even eat it. Dogs won't even eat it. A dog will eat anything. You know what I mean? Back when I was a kid, man, we used to just throw shit on the floor for the dog to eat. We would take all our table scraps. If we didn't want it, bow, we would toss it right on the floor. The dog would eat it. Shit nowadays, you be eating something. Back in the day, you could be literally eating something. A crumb will come off, and a dog will come and start chewing on your shit. You know what I mean? Chewing on your, licking it up off your shirt. I don't know what's going on with the foods nowadays, man. The dogs won't even eat it, man. You give the dog, you put the food down on there, and the dog will sniff it and turn away. You put that damn food down there for that dog, man. That dog will look at it, and he'll start growling. You know what I mean? You'd be like, damn, is he growling at the food? I remember back in the day, man, you would mess around and accidentally sneeze. You would an accidental sneeze, achoo. The mucus would literally fly out of your mouth, fall on the floor, and the dog would come and lick that up. Now the dogs, you got the food now, you give it to the dog. The dog is growling at it. This will be playing me in Naruto generations. Between Will Smith and Carlton, Carlton won. Carlton is happily married. That's what you get for pandering, man. That's Will Smith was trying to pander. You got to understand, man. Your career is done as a black man. If you come out there with a snow bunny, your career is over, man. They can get with any Caucasian guy, man. They can look like a complete slob, and it's okay. Serena Williams is the queen of the black community. You know what I'm saying? It's Beyonce, Serena, Michelle Obama. You're a queen. You're a goddess when you're a Caucasian. When you're a black woman with a Caucasian man, you know. But a black man cannot. He Will Smith cannot. Barack Obama, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, they cannot have a career if they didn't play the position that they played. Barack Obama knew I can't be president with a Caucasian woman. He had to get the most bust down, Michelle Obama was perfect because she wasn't attractive at all, but she was black. She had that black body, that the black body on her, She was black. Her hair was natural. She didn't dye her hair. After she won the presidency, she started dyeing and frying her hair. But before the presidency, her hair was always nappy and stuff like that. Denzel Washington, he got that wife, man. I'm sorry, that's a whole tore up old thing, And Will Smith, he knew. Will Smith, everything he did was calculated, and he knew if he was going to become Will Smith, he had to get that black woman that was going to be able to bring his build up his credibility. And he went and got one of the most toxic black women that he can get. And then I would say it ruined his career. Now he was so focused on the career that he wasn't focused on the end. That brother, what's that brother that played Luke Cage, man? He went on the Wendy Williams show. Go Google it. Luke Cage actor on Wendy Williams. He came out and the girls were like, ooh, ooh. They were going crazy for him. Big, strong, bald headed brother, dark skinned brother. They were going crazy. White women, black women in the audience. And then Wendy showed the picture of his Caucasian wife. He's like, yeah, that's my girl. I love her. You know what I'm saying? That's my wife. She's been doing me through thick and thin. They canceled Luke Cage right after the Wendy Williams show. It's a dirty game, man. It's a dirty game. Too much pandering going on, man. 2025, I think we should stop the pandering. If you like black women, go ahead and do your thing. It's cool. But don't pander. Don't do that. Don't let them bully you into who you should love and who you shouldn't love. Because at the end of the day, it's just going to backfire. The Kendrick Lamar special, damn near backfired if he didn't bring Serena Williams out there. Oh, the cool nerd is still a thing in 2025? Cool nerds is just who you are, It's not really a gang or anything. I never met anybody that was a cool nerd though. Just a few people. Didn't they try to cancel Chris Brown when a white woman saw him die? I remember, man, white women would come into. I remember when Chris Brown got canceled, and it was "Stop the Yard." It was not the Rihanna beating. It was not the Rihanna beating. It was when they wanted to. They wanted. It was "Stomp the Yard," and white women were buying tickets to go see Chris Brown. I remember I was messing with this Caucasian girl. She had screensavers of Chris Brown. He was underage at the time. She was a grown ass woman. She was older than me. And I was like, he's a little kid. I don't care. White woman. All I'm saying is, man, fall in love with who you want to fall in love with. I'm not saying you should go out and be on some extreme stuff. This is why I don't bless with black women. Just don't pander. If you find something that's a mixed queen or whatever, be happy with what you got, but be careful. If she's a woman of color, be very, fellas, be very careful. They will sleep with. I'm sorry, my Caucasian brothers. Wisdom, you cool. Wisdom, he get girls. I know that. I'm not talking about. If I found out my girl was dating Wisdom, I'll be cool with that. Anime fan, I'll be cool with that. But I'm telling you, man, be careful, fellas. Mark my words. I was working with this Caucasian guy, man. He would literally be eating. Food would fall off of his plate, bow, and he would pick the food up off the ground. We're at the job, and he'll pick it up and start eating it again. Yeah, man. Like I was saying before, man, they are putting things in this food now that the dogs don't even want. I'm messing around talking and talking crazy, spit flies out of my mouth, falls on the floor. The dog comes and lick that spit up. Dogs, when you see dogs, they try to lick you in the mouth. They're licking you in the mouth, not because you think, oh my God, they're kissing me. They're licking you in the mouth because your mouth is so dirty. And I noticed they specifically get the licking when a woman is talking. You ever notice that? They get extra licky when a woman's talking. They get the licking around that mouth. When a man's talking, they be like this. Maybe once in a while they'll do one of these, but they're licking you because your mouth is so dirty. And the woman, she gets the licking, especially white women. They get the licking and licking back with the dog. They get the tongue kissing each other. That movie with was a ripoff. Breezy was in it for a bit and actually dies off. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. I saw the white women were like, wow. I was in Arizona at the time when that movie came out, man, and Chris Brown came on. The white women were like, and they were with their white dates. And Chris Brown just did something recently where he was taking, you had to pay like $1,000 to take a picture with him. It was all white women. This is just recently. This is old Chris Brown. You know what I mean? That's when he got canceled. White guys were sitting there like this. So they canceled him, and then that's when they brought in Chris Brown. I mean, I'm sorry, not Chris Brown. What's his name? Justin Bieber. That's what they did to Justin Bieber. They tried to flip it. You know what I mean? They tried to flip it. And it was a flipper. It was a flipper. That's when black women were becoming little black girls today were becoming more open with being in public and with Caucasian males. You know what I mean? They were always messing with Caucasian males, but they were just more open to it, to being more bold about it because they were talking so bad about black men over the years. They didn't want to seem like hypocrites. And yes, with Justin Bieber, there were a lot of young Caucasian girls. It's around from 5 to 10 Caucasian women are into the whole white boy thing, the teeny bop thing. It's just that once they get past 10, then it's whoever the black kid is at that time. He takes crazy pictures with female fans, but they are paying for it. Yeah, as they should. So a lot of people are insecure about that. I was fine with that. If my girl, hey, I'm saving up $1,000 to go see Chris. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and do your thing, man. It's Chris Brown. Now, if she said to save up $1,000 to go see One Direction, then I'd be like, is that what they call it? One Direction? Or Chris? No, I actually like Justin Bieber, even though I don't feel sorry for him. They showing pictures of Justin Bieber looking around, walking around looking all crazy. I don't feel sorry for him because I remember as a kid, he did the song. He was in a room with a bunch of Caucasian people talking about one less lonely Negro. He didn't say Negro though. He said the other word. Google it. Justin Bieber, one less lonely N word. So I don't feel too sorry for him. I don't want to get to shedding tears when it comes to Caucasian men. I'll shed a tear over a cat in a second. Oh my God. That poor cat. I saw Nicki and Megan do songs with K-pop male artists. I didn't see that. Oh, black women are into K-pop now. Yeah, I see that. I did see that as well. They're into those the Korean guys. They don't allow black men on TV anymore. So whoever's on the television, that's who they're going to draw to. But they don't allow black men on TV anymore. Unless the only time it's a black guy is like Anthony Mackie, some real corny black guy. You know what I mean? Or like a real old black guy like Steve Harvey or something. But when I was coming up, man, there was like a smorgasbord of black boy bands. What was that one boy group, man? They took the world over by storm. They had all the girls on lock. It wasn't like no fake manufactured thing like Drake. That's fake, man. But like if these guys came around, I would have been like, oh my God, my girl is gone. What was that one black group? They all had like braids with the baby hairs with the curls and the oh my God, the girls were going crazy. What was they called? B2K or is it called B2K? I used to like B2K, man. They were great. I used to have the corn rules with the baby hairs. And I remember this guy, he was hating. He was like, yeah, man, he's B2K as in N words, man. This dude was hating man hard. I heard him say that too. Boys to Men, nah, B2K. But you know, that going back, yes, you had but them mother suckers, white people just couldn't take it. They were like, oh my God. They were walking into their daughter's rooms and there was all these colored boys on the wall. So they X'd that out. They said, okay, let's just go with something, another alternative. And it's they got the Korean guys and the Caucasian guys. But they were nothing on the fellas that we had back when Chris Brown was B2K. Who else? It was crazy back then. It was black boys all over the walls. But they stopped that. They shut that down. You know what I mean? It's the Michael Jackson effect. It's the Prince effect. It's the Rick James effect. It's the James Brown effect. But that was the last era. That was the last era. Chris Brown was the last of the black um, stars, the black sex symbols. You might have one or two, but there might be like a little zestiness to it as well, and or they'll shut him down. It was this one dude that they didn't expect him to become a sex symbol. He was just his face was so old. What's his name? They shut him down fast. Um, what's the dude? He was in the Ant-Man movie. He was in the movie and he was in the Creed movie. They just shut him down real quickly. He ran away from his girl, and they charged him for get off me. They charged him for that. What was his name? Um, um, before B2K. If it is in love, why does it feel this? Bobby Brown in them. Oh my God, I remember when Bobby Brown. I'm old enough to remember when Bobby Brown came out with his solo album. My mom was playing. My mom was never playing nothing stuff like that, man. She was playing his album in the car. That was back in the 80s. Jonathan Majors. Yeah, they shut down Jonathan Majors. New, what's going on, man? They shut down Jonathan. They didn't expect that. Not Kevin Hart. Cat Williams had to let people know, man, that was an ugly dude, man. But we haven't seen nothing that black in You know what I'm saying? The ladies lost their goddamn mind. And they shut him down instantly. They got to get little ugly dudes now, man, like Kevin Hart and stuff like that. You watch the commercial, and you be like, you know what I'm saying? You be like, why the hell is Kevin Hart on this goddamn commercial, man? And he's just mad corny. Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, is this comedy? Kevin Hart is trash. Jonathan Majors. Ice Cube. Ice Cube is lit, yo. I didn't know anything about Ice Cube until I moved to Arizona. They loved Ice Cube out there, yo. In the West Coast, and he's been my dude, yo. God dang, I'm glad y'all said it all. You don't see no brothers on television no more. White people were tired. They were like, get those niggers off of the screen. You don't see any brothers. Remember back in the day, you used to see nothing but brothers. You got to be short and ugly in order to get on television now. What's the new brother now? He's got no sex appeal whatsoever. He's not even a brother though. I think he's a tether. What's his name? Kai Sanat. They're promoting him now. He's real short. He's real little and ugly. He's hideous. He's not even a brother too. He's like they're finding these tethers now. The tethers don't have that sex appeal that the African American has. African Americans can be ugly and still have a sex, like Jonathan Majors. They can be as ugly as dirt, but man, they'll have a sex appeal to them. You can't even see the brother, and he had a sex appeal. Remember that one brother? He was so dark. What was his name? That mother sucker had crazy sex appeal. You couldn't even see him. He was so goddamn black. All you saw was eyeballs. What was that one black brother, man? He old now. Wesley something. What was his name? Took over the world. Kaiser, yeah, that's a weird looking dude, man. Switch to about to be I Show Speedy. Wesley Snipes, yeah. That brother was black. I watch a Wesley Snipes movies. I'll be like, yo, when's Wesley gonna be in the movie? He's in the movie right now. I can't see him. He's so goddamn black. They said he was in the new Deadpool movie. I didn't see him. He was so goddamn dark. That's what they said. Yeah, they shut down that Jonathan Majors energy fast. That was he was becoming a sex symbol. And he was one of the first brothers where they said he had a white girlfriend and the girl still didn't care. I was watching something. It was so fake. It was a tether. He's doing the voice from Mufasa. He was on the Kelly Clarkson show. And she was like, oh my God, you're just so freaking hot, man. You're just so freaking cute. I guess he had like green eyes or something like that. He wasn't even that hot. But everybody knew it was fake. You know what I'm saying? He was a tether, so the energy wasn't there. But something about the black American man, if he's short, then he doesn't have that sex appeal. The Kendrick Lamars, the Kevin Harts, they're not threatened by them. But if you're like 5'11" up, man, oh my God, they'll shut you down. Hollywood got that one black guy in Star Wars out of the industry. The black guy in Star Wars. You're not talking about the tether. That guy had no sex appeal. He actually made you want to throw up when you saw him. You're not talking about he took off his stormtrooper helmet and his eyes was bucking and his lip was dragging. I was like, oh, where they find this black guy? He was a tether. He was from Africa or something. It wasn't girls wasn't rocking with him. Girls can tell. It's something about the Black American energy that they've been trying to stifle over the past couple years. The British guy, yeah, that dude was trash, man. That dude didn't get no girls. I was hanging out with him the other day, and I got more girls than him. Yo, this is a true story. I went to the club um, in Arizona, and it was a basketball player there named Amari Stoudemire, and it was a comedian. I think his name was Ari Spears. They were at the club. Yeah, I was getting more play than them, yo, from the girls. They were getting girls too, but I was in the mix. It was us three. I was a nobody, and it was a 7'12" basketball player and a comedian. And I swear to God, true story. My cousin will tell you. I got like 12 numbers that night, yo. I got this one girl. I didn't even know she was that tall. She came to the crib. I was like, oh my God, you're like right there with me. I didn't even know you was that tall. I was just grabbing so many numbers. I lost track on who they look like. Yeah, they're from England. They're these weirdo looking cats. No sexual appeal whatsoever, man. That's on purpose. I'm trying to tell you, man, it's a dirty game out here, fellas. It's a dirty game. They know exactly what they're doing, man. Y'all think it's by accident. They shut down energy fast. They'll shut down a certain energy real fast. Did anybody see the new Captain America movie with the guy, Anthony Mackie, the guy that lost to B Rabbit in 8 Mile? Now, though he stands tough, I heard there was a Mexican Black Falcon. That bugs me out. That's crazy. People said it was horrible. Yeah, I'm not watching that garbage. Have you seen the black guy they got for the Green Lantern? Oh, nah. He's cool though. John Stewart. I don't know the guy they got, but the black Green Lantern is amazing. He's awesome. You seen it? It was all right. Yeah, I heard it was trash. I heard it was just all right. I didn't hear nobody saying it was a spectacular movie. But that dude ain't got no sex appeal, man. That was on purpose. Sorry. I'm incredibly silly. Incredibly silly. Whew. The generation I grew up in, I was like, yo. Even I was getting mad seeing all these black guys. I was like, and the girls went crazy for him. Crazy. 50 Cent. Women love 50 Cent. He'd be looking fat and crazy. And he'll go on one of these talk shows with the white women on there, and my God, oh my God, 50 Cent, I love you, 50. And then they start, white girls, they start getting gangster and stuff. G-Unit. They start doing they start acting black and stuff. That's what I saw when I was growing up, man. It was those inward loving white girls, man. I did not like them. They loved me. But I gave the inward loving white girl a hard time. When they were, yo, yeah, 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 yeah. I did not like that. Whatever girl if I dated that was Caucasian, she had to be the whitest of the whites. She had to burp When she burped, her breath smelled like milk. I did not like the N word. That really turned me off, man. But when I was coming up, man, in Arizona, it was crazy. And in New Jersey, uh, I remember I was going to this private school. It was a Christian school, and this Caucasian girl, she was bad, but she was at the time I was under the illusion of like Kendrick Lamar was under. I was trying to pander to black women and stuff like that. So I didn't look at her as the dime piece that she really was. She was bad. Who could she reminded me of Alex Mack. There was this show called Alex Mack that came on back in the day in Nickelodeon. And I liked her because she reminded me of Alex Mack. Google Alex Mack. It was a white girl that was to turn into some type of goo. She would turn into the goo and start slithering around and going through the drains and stuff like that. Remember that show? Where are my old heads at, man? Remember Alex Mack? She used to look like her. She had braces, blonde hair. She was tall. She was bad. I didn't know what I was doing, man. I didn't know what the hell I was messing with. She liked it me. Well, when she approached me. White women were always approaching me. Still do. But but this white woman, a white girl at the time, we young. I didn't know what I was doing. If I had the game that I had today, I would have had her going crazy. Hold on, real quick, fellas. Oh, I was doing a. Oh, dang. This is when I knew I was an entertainer. I was doing a play for my school. I was playing. We were doing the David and Goliath play, and so we. Yo, Jet Life, what's up, man? It was on Nickelodeon. Yes, sir. She was 5'2". She was tall. She was like I don't know how tall I was back in the eighth grade. I was always tall. Um, I don't believe I was done growing yet though. But she was tall. She was right there. So she had to be like 5'9", 5'8". 5'9", 5'8", 5'11". That's tall for a girl, you know what I'm saying? But she was hot. And I was doing a play, and at the time The Rock was huge. He was like my idol. And The Rock, I was just basically I was playing the Goliath role because I was tall and the shortest cut in my class, his name was Pete. He used to eat his boogers. Caucasian kid. I didn't believe he eat his boogers. I was sitting next to this Dominican girl. I forgot her. Sade. Her name was Sade. And the Dominican girl would be like, "Oh my God, Pete eats his boogers. Pete eat his boogers." And I used to be like, "What?" Pete was like the smartest kid in class. She was like, "Pete eats his boogers. Pete eats his boogers." And I was like, "Whatever, man, stop, man, get out of here." So I'm thinking she might just be seeing things, you know? So she was like, she caught this mother sucker about to eat his boogers right before he did it. She was following his pattern so hard just to show me that this mother sucker ate his boogers. She was like, "Look, look, 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 look." And I looked, and this mother sucker was like, in his nose, looked at it, and ate it. And when he did it, she made this sound that this laugh like my mom would do. It's a laugh that my mom do. She did the same thing. Mother sucker ate his boogers, yo. It was no lie. It was no, yeah, it was Pete. He used to eat his boogers. And she was saying all school year that he was doing it. I just thought she was lying. She caught this mother sucker right before he did it. Anyway, he played David. I played Goliath, and you know, they gave me these muscles, like these big old muscle things to put on. So I had to put that on. I was supposed to bring a long sleeve shirt, but I didn't. So I got these white muscles on, and the play, and I'm coming out, and I'm being I'm being the Rock, and the teacher thinks it's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody thinks it's brilliant of what I'm doing, but I'm imitating the Rock on wrestling, but they don't know. And so I come out with the muscle things, and everybody's just laughing and dying, and then Pete, he does his lines, and then I do my thing, and the audience is going crazy, and they're just boom, boom, boom. And it's this one thing I remember. Pete goes into this whole long speech about I am the truth and I am the justice, I am the night, I am Batman. And I go, that is the stupidest thing. And I got that from the Cosby Show. Like, he went into this whole long thing, but I just broke it down like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever sort of heard in my entire life. And the audience is going crazy. And it was at a moment where I looked out into the audience and everybody's like this. Everybody's just like glued to me. You know what I'm saying? And at that moment, I just knew, okay, I'm a great orator. I'm a great entertainer. Because I've never seen people just out mouth agape and just eyes wide open, and everybody's just like, what is he going to say next? The thing is over. Everybody's just clapping. They're going crazy. I leave to go out. The girls are literally coming back. They treat me like I'm Michael Jackson in his prime. And then that's when Alex Mack, the baddest white girl in the school, was like, I want him, that he's mine. But she was like really shy. And I was really shy. But she wanted, you know, the guy that she saw, the entertainers of be 70. But the real me is like, oh. So I wasn't able to hold that down. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very young. But the Zoe 70 today, I would have had her up in here cleaning with a thong on. You know what I'm saying? No, but my girlfriend is perfect. I love her. I am so glad that I have her. Yay! Holy moly! Who's the woman behind you? What woman? Y'all see a monster? What you talking about? Y'all seeing ghosts? What woman? Bro, there's a freaking woman behind you, man. Y'all see ghosts or something? What's going on? What woman? Yeah, man. What was I talking about? I have no idea. No woman. I was not seeing no woman. Anyway, I only got 4% left, man. I would love to keep babbling. But the more of the story is this: PlayStation is and Shuhei Yoshida's lying. He's not telling the full story. Japan Studios had everything going against them, and PlayStation didn't see the vision in the dream ever since the Caucasian people started taking over. Excuse me, people who just the powers that be who just happen to be Caucasian started taking over. They they don't understand the ideal of feeding anybody else that isn't Caucasian. Just so happen to be Caucasian. And Yoshida, I don't have any sympathy for him because he played into their beliefs instead of standing strong on what he believed in. That's why he was designated to the closet, and then after the closet, he was out the door. I didn't see a ghost in the house. I had a short white British woman beating up a hallway full of dudes. Unbelievable moment in the movie. Oh, they had. Oh, Yeah, these little Marvel movies, they're so bad. I never liked it, the Marvel movies. They be having these girls that are just 5'2", barely 85 pounds, soaking wet, and they're just kicking and flipping, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Where is Afro? All right, dude. See, I got me scared up in here now. I'm thinking I'm seeing ghosts. All right, guys. I gotta do some cleaning. I gotta go back to the gym. I've been in the gym for like a week. They shut down my gym. I was going to Blink, and they went out of business. Zobi, what do you think of the Bleach game? I don't know. I saw Anime Fan posts gameplay in the Discord, but I haven't clicked on it. I would love to play anime games and stuff like that. I just haven't seen anything that I actually wanna play. I would love to do the Dragon Ball Tenkaichi 4, but it's not on the Switch too. It's not on the Switch yet. But to be honest, I haven't really looked at the gameplay. Anime Fan's been posting it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see what it looks like, and hopefully I can get back at you um, with my opinion. Yeah. All right, guys.